That's
Hey, everybody. So happy to have you with us here today. My name is Adam Pohl. Paul Clary's with me. Paul, we've got a great guest today, Alvie Shepherd, high round draft choice of the Orioles, former Bowie Baysox. And I know that Oriole fans and Baysox fans alike are really going to be so interested in Alvie's inspirational story. So Alvie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You're probably going to hear some knocks. My daughter is very she wants my attention a lot, so you might hear some knocks, but other than that, everything's great.
well, here's Adam's way of fixing it. Just before we came on, he had like this big cat butt coming through his thing. He's like, let me go feed him real quick. So if you'd like to go feed your daughter real quick, that's fine.
I did. I fed her, you name it, orange juice, strawberries, chips, whatever. Just
and Alvie, my daughter is unfortunately under the weather. She's watching a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse right now to my left, so she might run up and sit in my lap during this thing. You never know.
Life, right? Love it.
Alvie, it's all of us here are very similarly aged, but it has been quite a
thank
journey
you
of life.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that.
It's been a journey, hasn't it? Since, I mean, when you think back to playing at Nebraska, with a guy like Darren Erstad, being a top pick, this whole life of professional baseball. What are some of the happy things that come to mind?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh,
my goodness, you're muted. That's E. That's an E right there.
That's rookie ball. Right,
oh my God. What minor league? Here we go.
No, but so the first thing that comes to mind is like camaraderie and just the lifelong friends that I still talk to today from back when I played high school, college, and pro ball. So
right,
it's a brotherhood. It really is a brotherhood, and just a lot of fun memories.
Go ahead, Adam. I'll let you run for a little bit.
Okay, sounds good. A lot of people say when they're in athletics, like, oh my God, what would it be like to dunk a basketball, things like that. But what is it like to throw a baseball nearly 100 miles an hour? I mean, it's really amazing the velocity that you are seeing in the game today. But when you were throwing 98, coming out of college, that was very abnormal.
Yeah. You know what? It's a lot faster these days. I tell you what. But back when in 95. Yeah, 98 was bringing it, and it still is. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's still bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it felt just adrenaline, and I was a all out guy, and it's probably why my arm took a dive on me a little bit earlier than I would have liked. But yeah, I was an all in guy when I pitched. Gave it 100% on every fastball, and I just loved, getting it by the guys, and it was a lot harder to do, obviously, in pro ball than it was in other levels. But yeah, just a lot of adrenaline, a lot of I don't know, that competitive fire would be burning pretty hardcore when I got on the mound.
So when you were in high school, my notes say you were a triple threat. That's what I'm gonna go with, triple threat.
Triple threat. Okay.
What were?
I know two threats. I definitely wasn't fast.
I was told triple. So
I definitely wasn't fast.
Obviously, you're a baseball. What were the other two sports in high school that you would do?
Okay. That's what you mean.
I'm sorry. In the acting world, that'd be singing, dancing, and then acting. Can you do those three?
Yeah. So in high school, I played obviously baseball, football, and basketball. Those are my three sports. I excelled in football and baseball the most. I was good at basketball, but I was not going to go. I had some D2 offers, but which I'm proud of. But it was my sports were football and baseball. I chose baseball because I thought I'd last longer. The health wise, and but I love both of them equally. I still love watching both. The game's changed quite a bit on both sports, but yeah. I still love watching them.
Alvie, don't you think that playing multiple sports helps you even in a singular sport? I mean, we see so much sports specialization for young kids in today's era, and I think that hurts kids.
Listen, I'm going to just say, like, I think it definitely hurts. There's so many different aspects of each sport that you can take from one to the next. I took a lot of my football mentality into baseball. that fire. That was why, I was a closer a lot of the years I played. I think in basketball, just that, just the ins and outs of things you had to do. So, I mean, every sport, I think, brings such a important, there's some important pieces to the puzzle that can really round an athlete out pretty well. And I think nowadays with everyone doing one sport, I just feel like it definitely hurts the athlete a little bit, in my opinion. I think they should definitely be more well-rounded.
Out of high school, it looks like you got drafted with the Angels, 32nd, something like that. What happens that you decide, you know what, I'm not there yet? Did you not like the Angels, or you're like, no, I could do better?
No, I love the Angels, man. I love the Angels. You know what? Yeah, it was I can do better. I was a projected possible first round pick out of high school. I mean, I'm 6'7". I was throwing 90 in high school at my tops around there. Just a lot of potential, right? I hit. I wasn't going to hit in pro ball, unfortunately. I wish I would have, but I know all the hitters are going, shut up, Shepherd. Sorry guys. Hey, listen, I was okay. I did college and did well, but anyways, I got drafted as a pitcher, but yeah, I lost my train of thought there. what was the question?
You skipped the Angels. You said, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. See,
and you headed back, I guess, to college at this point, right?
Yeah. So I skipped the Angels because I was, told that, I was projected as a higher level pick. And then, and honestly, the scout that came to my house, he said, listen, go to college. I had a full scholarship offer already, accepted. He's like, listen, go to college and you'll get drafted higher down the road. And so I did. I definitely took the advice of the scout, and I did think I could get higher picked. And the thought of going to college to get an education was also very much something I wanted to do. And plus my parents really wanted that as well. So yeah. So that was that.
So what did you take in college then? What was in high school, you're baseball. That's what you do. You're just right. There's a bat, there's a ball, that's you. In college now, you're thinking a little bit ahead. You already know you're pretty much a shoe-in, so you can kind of draft, just relax, go to all the easy, take volleyball or something like that, and pottery. What did you move forward? What did you move forward through?
Well put. No, but no, I was a communications major. I took the communications route. Now where I'm at today, it makes total sense. I love people, and communicating and stuff has been a pretty strong part of my life in general. But I took communications, all the classes you would take for that. I did a marketing class. I honestly wish I would have put more into school than I did at that time in my life.
Sure.
My grade point average wasn't the best. I passed, and unfortunately, I'll be honest, that's what I was trying to do is pass and play and go to the next level. Went back to college after ball and did a much better, almost a 4.0. So, but it took me a while to get to that point.
But Alvie, now you fast forward to where your life is now. I know that you've had a tumultuous life outside of baseball, but it's got to be pretty remarkable to look back and see how some of those things have grown you into the man that you are today. Tell us about what you're doing right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll take you back to when everything kind of fell apart on me. Back when I got released by the Orioles back in 1998, 99. That season I got released. It was crushing. It was a crushing blow. I mean, I wanted so badly to not only become a MLB player and do that whole career and sail off into the sunset. I wanted all that, like everybody that makes it to that level once. And I got injured. It was a freak accident. I got hit with a ball during pregame in the back of my scapula, and it just damaged some nerves. And anyway, so I went out, I played with the Angels. And speaking of the Angels, they picked me up right away. And then I finished the season with them and just, got re-injured with them. And, they pitched me like 4 days and 5 days that I was there. And I was on a pitch count. I was rehabbing. I was still rehabbing with the Orioles. Yeah. So they picked me up and basically said, get in there. And I was like, okay, I just got to make a team, right? Got to make a team. So I was doing what they wanted. I re-injured myself there, and that was it, really. That was it. I got an invite to minor league camp for the Mets, but the writing was already on the wall. It was done. so that was that. And then, you know, I went home and I got into some bad habits. You know, I wasn't prepared to take life on. I was still a ball player in my head, but I wasn't. So the identity crisis hit hard. And in that, you know, I went back home, moved back in with my parents, even though I had a lot of money in the bank from the first round draft pick money. I just was a shell. I was just really empty in a lot of ways inside. And I started coaching the youth in the area. I wanted to pass on my knowledge. I've always been someone like that to help. So I did that immediately, and but there was a big hole missing. So after I would do all that, you know, I would finish my day of work, and then I would, you know, go to the bar, you know, and I would sit there with my buddies and drink, and then the next thing you know, I got into some bad habits with some recreational drugs. It took a tailspin pretty quickly with me. I found that was a coping mechanism for me to kind of forget my failures, and so. It hit hard. I mean, one of the things that I really I hope has gotten better, and I don't blame anybody for anything, but I hope it's gotten better in MLB is that the you know, the departure from minor league / major league. I hope that they are giving some help to these young athletes and even veterans that are being, you know, told you're done, you're not good enough anymore, whatever it is they tell them. And then they're off on their own, their identity's gone. And then they do possibly what I did, which was get into drugs, alcohol, and some people, you know, suicide, all that stuff. I mean, all those thoughts, they had everything you can possibly think. No one knew. That's the other thing too, is, you know, I didn't want anyone knowing my struggles. So I held them in. Like, everyone saw me as though, oh, Alvie's here, let's go have a drink. Alvie's Bay. And I'm over it. But inside, I was dying inside. I was just empty and depressed. And so anyways, that the drugs got a hold of me. No one knew that, not even my late wife. You know, I didn't want anyone knowing. So years of that went on. And then I finally, you know, started praying a lot. And that's why you see my screen name, God is Good. You know, I started praying a lot. You know, I needed something to change in my life because I was done. I checked out completely. And that blessing was an aneurysm. In 2013.
First of all, I've never heard anybody declare an aneurysm a blessing. Kudos to you, my friend. Kudos to you, my friend.
It was the best blessing in my life, and I say that because it was a prayer answered. It was a prayer answered. I was that desperate in my life that I was ready to take it. I was ready to take my life, and then God said, "No, you're not. I'm going to give this is going to be your wake up call." I had the aneurysm, and when I woke up, you know, before I went into surgery, I said, God, you know, if you let me get through this, I'll never go back. And I woke up and I said, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. And I literally did a 180, and I had some pretty deadly habits that I was, you know, doing. And I did a 180, and I said, you know, that's it. Thank you. I started taking care of myself. I started, you know, eating better. You know, I was 307 pounds. You know, when I played ball, it was about 240, but that was, you know, muscle, and I was an athlete. So, but I was 307 pounds of fat. I was miserable. Just didn't feel good. I thought I was going to die before I actually had the aneurysm because I was feeling that bad. So, you know, I just said, nope, done. And I started taking care of myself, lost about 40 pounds on my own. And then I hit that plateau. And then one of my pro ball brothers from the Orioles, Darren Hooper, him and I used to hang out in, you know, spring training a little bit. Great guy. He messaged me about a program called Isogenics. And I said, you know what? I believe you because I see you. I actually was following him. And so I ended up going, I'll call you back when I get stuck. And, you know, again, I was like, all right, it's not budging. So I ended up calling him back and said, all right, let's go. What do I need to do? So I got on board, man. And I've been 7 years with the company. And, you know, I've completely changed my life. I mean, I dropped 45 pounds and I got myself back into, you know, better shape than I ever was playing pro ball. I got actually pretty shredded and, you know, feeling great, confidence as high as ever. And it also gave me a purpose. You know, I really feel like the Lord gave me a second chance to make a difference. And for me, that difference was bringing people to the kingdom and helping people feel better about themselves physically and some financially that are open to that part of what I do. So it's been a blessing. I've been happy with everything as far as my health goes and my line of work. I do it full time. And it's also created some freedom for me, which has allowed me to do a lot of things that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. I mentioned my late wife, Rachel. She passed away. She had cancer. I got diagnosed in 2018. Out of nowhere, we just had our second child about a little over a year earlier, and my son was 4 at the time. My daughter, or just turning 4. My daughter was 1.5, and she got diagnosed, and we were stunned, obviously, but our faith was strong, and we knew we felt that she was going to beat it, and so it was stage 4 right off the bat. So we caught it after it was already at stage 4. And so we just lots of prayer, and the community that I'm a part of with Isogenics, they prayed, and from top to bottom. And then my friends from high school and everywhere, just so much prayer and so much love was sent to the kids, and Rachel, the kids, and I, and I always remember that and appreciate that. But she did end up, after 2.5, almost 3 years, she passed away last year, November 27th. So we just passed the 1-year anniversary of her, gaining her wings. God is good. God is good. It's heartbreaking. I get emotional, obviously, anytime I speak about it, but I'm in a really good place. God has my kids and I, and I'm just very excited about the future. We're moving forward in a good way, and just I can keep going and going. So I'll stop.
But Alvie, it's amazing how somebody that's gone through what you've gone through personally, your family, that you can spread so much love to others.
You know what? I honestly, I feel I'm borrowed time. I feel that in a positive way. I feel like, I was definitely given that second chance. I mean, there's many people that have a ruptured brain aneurysm never make it, or if they do make it, they're paralyzed.
Right.
It's not a good thing. When I told the Lord that I would never go back, if he gave me a second chance, I meant it, and I'm a man of my word. And I didn't. I knew that I had to get the word out there of how important it is to have a relationship with the Lord, and to be your best version, to be the best version of yourself, because when you're not, your mind goes other places, and the devil tries to creep in. And so I really love the line of work that I've chosen, with helping people find that their best versions, and in hopes that also they find the Lord in their life as well.
So you were mentioning your kids. I was more curious about this situation. Most people name their kids like Billy and Sarah. What the heck is a Kingston and a Braven?
Yeah. Well, okay. So Kingston, so he was our firstborn. He's 7, just turned 7. So my wife and I were late wife. We were watching a show. We're trying to figure out all these kind of names. We're writing down the names. This. How about this? How about this? No. And we're watching a show on like Netflix or something, and we're into it, and we're listening. And all of a sudden, one of the characters says Kingston, and I just looked right at her. I'm like, that's it, Kingston. I mean, he's gonna be a king. He's gonna be so tall, and we're tall. And my late wife was 6'6", by the way.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that. So my kids are gonna be giants.
So your 7-year-old's about 5'10" right now, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we saw it was a Netflix movie, and I'm, shame on me, I don't remember the Netflix movie right off the top of my head right now. I'll find out, but
you need to go find out.
Yeah, and so that's how, and I said, that's it, come on. And she was like, yeah, okay. So that's how we named Kingston. Now Braven, my wife, it was all my wife. Now my wife named her Braven, and she did the whole name, like so her name is Braven Phoenix and Shepherd, obviously. And so she named her like, so Braven was the child book. It was in a children's book, like a fairy tale book. And so Braven, that was the name that she found in one of those books. And then the Phoenix part was, so, Rachel was with me throughout my whole decline and then rise. She saw everything. So the rise of the Phoenix, right? So that's where the Phoenix comes in for Braven, is she witnessed my rise from basically ashes to where I became who I am today. And so she wanted to name her Braven Phoenix, and I loved it. I love the name. Everyone that hears the names Kingston and Braven are like, oh wow, those are good names. Like, so that's the names. That's
But Alvie, I got to ask you about with their age, where they are now. I mean, obviously they're at an age where you're going to start introducing them to playing sports, right? I mean, what is that like as a father?
I'm excited, and I'm excited and hopeful.
Yes.
I know how much I loved love sports. And speaking of the one, she's knocking the door now, but I know how much I love sports. My late wife, Rachel, she was not into sports. Now you would think being 6'6", she would have been, but she was misdiagnosed as a child as having Marfan's syndrome, which is a very debilitating disease that life expectancy is like 35. And ironically, she ended up passing at 39 anyways, but she was misdiagnosed. And so her whole life, she couldn't do sports because she thought she had Marfan's. Well, she didn't end up having Marfan's. So we found out when we were pregnant with my son Kingston, we had to get a genetic test because he could have had it too, like a 50-50 chance of having it if she did. So we went to a world-renowned geneticist here in the area, and he looked right at her when we walked in the door, looked at her face, looked at her tongue, and looked at her feet, and said, "You don't have Marfan's."
Oh my God!
Like what? So 32 years of her life, she thought she was like, I had a death sentence already. And it's sad. It's sad. I was like, I didn't know what to think for, but anyways, my point is that she wasn't into sports because she never could really play. So it was all me on the sports end. But last year I had, and I had Kingston out in the backyard with Braven, and they would hit the wiffle balls, and Kingston's got a nice left. He's lefty. My
there you go.
Yeah, my late wife was a lefty, and so he has the lefty throwing and the lefty swing. Braven's all righty for sure. And so, but I'm hoping that they both get into a sport. It is the time. He's 7 now. Last year was a tough year to do anything because of what happened. But this year I'm planning on signing him up for some baseball and her for some t-ball as well. And maybe some soccer, the typical sports at the beginning. see where they go. So I'm excited. I'm a coach. I love being a coach, but I also want to, I don't know how it's going to all unfold, because
you got to let them have their own.
It's going to unfold. No matter what you do, it's going to unfold. So just let it go.
It's going to unfold.
So I wrote my little note here that you named your sweet, sweet little princess because of your time in Maryland and in Frederick and in Baltimore. You named her Baltimore Raven or B Raven.
Hey, it could be. It could be.
It's almost time to wrap it up. Before we wrap it up, I have got to do a lightning round of questions. It's pretty simple. I'm going to give you like 2 options. I'm not always going to explain it. You're just going to have to give me some answers.
Oh.
Some are a little tougher than others, my friend.
Just got hot.
Here we go. Are you a man of hot dog or hot chocolate?
Hot dog.
All right, just checking that.
That's a good baseball answer.
Because of your weight loss, are you rice cakes or cupcakes?
Ooh, I just had a rice cake.
Man. Did you enjoy the rice cake? Though?
I love a good cupcake. Though.
Okay, cupcake wins. Cupcake wins.
Okay, cupcake. Let's go cupcake.
I was gonna. I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. DH or not?
What's that?
DH or not?
H or not?
D.
DH or not. D. Hey, listen, I was a DH in college, man.
I know. That's why I was like,
but I wish I would have been able to hit in pro ball. Oh man, yeah. Not. Let's go not.
You know what? I'm all about tell the pitchers to stop being little jerks. Hit the damn ball. You hit someone, they're going to throw right at you. Deviled eggs. Do they get paprika or obey?
Obey.
All right. Robo-ump or real guy?
Wow. Robo-op?
Umpire.
Do I have a Baltimore accent? Guy. Is that it?
I didn't. Yeah, real guy, man. Oh, robo my butt. Ugh.
Okay. All right. And the last one. This is gonna touch you in your coaching heart.
Okay.
Who's worse? Baseball parents or football parents?
Wow. Baseball parents.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've always found them to be sweethearts. It's usually the football parents like, my kid's a quarterback. Your kid is 7.
Oh,
he can't even run right yet.
Well, I guess, I did coach football. I did coach football for like about 7 years in high school, and I never had a whole lot of issue with the football parents. Now that's where I'm coming from with that. Not that I had a lot of issue with baseball parents either, but there's a lot of my kid should play. Yes, I got you.
Well, Alvie,
All right. I'm sorry. Finish us off there, Adam, my friend.
yeah, no doubt. I was just going to close things out by saying thank you. What an inspirational message. And, it's just wonderful to be able to talk to you tonight. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you, and God bless.
Very nice meeting you, my friend.
All right, you too.